We just lost 2-1 to Brighton. What are your initial thoughts on the game?
I'm trying to be positive. Some silver linings are that like you're starting to see a little bit of a link-up play system that Ten Hag wants to press or put in place. Saw a little bit of press that seemed to be abandoned. It's still disappointing though. Like especially Brighton, best season they've had ever in the Premier League. Good for them, great side. But you expect more from our side. We expect more, especially being able to compete against opening day at Old Trafford.
We're in there, and a lot of people were complaining about the midfield service to the attackers. What did you make of Fred and McTominay's performance today?
Fred, I was a little bit disappointed that he was subbed up early. I thought he was not the issue. McTominay always plays well for the shirt. He tries really hard. He tries to put his best in. He just didn't have it today, though. Some of his.
Does he ever have it though?
He does on occasion. I mean, like he's a good lad. He's a rotation player, though. He's not a starter, and yet so we're now 3 seasons into the McTominay-Fred midfield. That's a little bit disappointing as well. Today he was disappointing today. I rate the lad, but today was not it.
Okay, what did you make of the new signings, Martinez and Eriksen? What did you make of them, their debuts at Old Trafford?
Eriksen, I was happy with. Keep in mind, he's an older player. He's not the Spurs player that was 2 years ago, especially with his heart condition. Martinez, a lot of positives there, but I think we saw some things very quickly that shows the Dutch leagues versus the Premier League today. He got a little bit too fancy with the ball at times, a little bit too trying to do a little bit too much when it's like you're a defender. Like, yes, had some great balls in, which I'm excited to see what that is. But still, some of the defense side, I was like, be quick. Like people around here are fast. Right.
Cristiano Ronaldo, what do you make of that situation? He came on. I think he had a little impact. Do you think we should keep him, or do you think we should still let him go because of all the drama and everything that's happening around him?
Man, if I knew the answer to this question, we might be working for United already. He had some good moments. Like some of his link-up plays, he created a couple chances, especially like dropping back deeper than he didn't do that much didn't do that so much last year as he did today. So if that continues, I'm okay with keeping him. But if he continues the off-field shenanigans and like tries to make him the center of attention, if it's going to be a rebuild, we need an actual rebuild. And having a prima donna superstar in the lineup is not going to help a rebuild for the new manager, the new gaffer.
Right. We play Brentford next week away. What do you think Ten Hag can do for us to get positive results? And are you confident in that game?
Based on what I saw today, I wouldn't put my money down on it quite yet. A couple of results are going to be the lads have to be more bought in. Like for the first 5 minutes, we saw everybody doing what we saw during preseason. And then when things went south, especially after the first goal, the lineup changed, or the mentality changed. They weren't following his system. So this week the focus has to be doing a system, identifying a system, because that's what we've lacked for the past 4 to 5 seasons is a real system. If they can do that, Brentford they did well against Leicester today. They drew 2-0 or 2-2 all. Like it was yeah. It'll be a good match, but we have to be ready. Like the league this year is not going to be. If anything, it's going to be harder because even the bottom, Bournemouth came into the season favorites to get relegated, and even that Bournemouth plays tough though. It's like that. Even that's going to be so Brentford. It's going to be a tough match.
Right. It's one game, and I've asked everyone this was come on so far. It's the first game of the season, but the signs aren't looking too good. But I don't want to get too reactionary. Where do you think we can finish at the end of the season? A realistic one, not a hopeful one. A realistic one.
I mean, the goal. I hate to say it because we're feeling like Arsenal when we say this, but top 4 has to be the expectation. Realistic, after today's match, if today was to be all the entire season, we'd be lucky to finish 6th or 7th based on what we played today. Because we need to do better. I mean, we lost to a team that finished their best finish ever, and they were 9th last year. And one of our worst seasons ever, and we finished 5th. Or 6th. I don't remember actually. But but if we play like we did today, 6th or 7th would be a good season.
All right, I'm going to ask you one more question just to get you. What signings do you think we should make? The transfer window is still open. There's a lot that can still be done. I've seen we've been linked with Sesko and now because we're light up front, but also the midfield, we might need some reinforcements there to get the game flowing because I think the defense is not the best, but it's not the worst. The attack is not the best, not the worst, but the midfield is porous. What are some signings or some things you think we could do?
Yeah, Sesko from Leipzig would be a good signing, but he's not going to be an impact for this year. He's not going to be a signing that comes in and adds goals right away. That's not what we should expect. Obviously, we still have hope for De Jong, but the way with Laporta continuing to pull the levers, we'll see. So we need something in midfield. There's not a whole lot on the market though. We've been linked to Neves in the past. Neves is a good player, still not going to deliver what I think we need. So we have to start getting creative. I mean, my hope is that.
What's your recommendation though?
As far as the signing it, there's not a whole lot. That's what I was gonna say. Like Jimmy Garner, I hope we can rotate in and like make some good players, but he's not going to be the. It depends on what our mentality is, like honestly, because it depends on do we actually anticipate trying to like compete this season or do we go for a true rebuild and things like that. So, a couple names beyond De Jong, that like it's all midfield. That.
All right, thank you so much for coming, Gary. And that's a nice jersey in it, right?
Hey, Cantona, the king. Cheers, guys.
This place is rocking and rolling.